So I have just been journaling, and I've journaled. I'm gonna read it out to you, right? Fuck, I feel weird. Today is day one of my dopamine detox plus withdrawal. Well, let's just call it day one without the medication. It's 2:30 p.m. and I'm feeling a sense of unease and anxiety. I'm not sure whether this is from the medication or just because I am not stimulated. Maybe I always feel this, but I just don't realize it because I've always been stimulated. So I just feel off, like this is obviously gonna go onto my unfiltered channel, my second channel, the one you're watching it on right now. But I'm kind of doing this also for like documentation. I'm also doing this for like therapy. And I feel a couple things, right? So I wrote down that I felt this sense of unease and anxiety. And I'm not sure whether it's from the withdrawal or it's always been there. Because this is my first day on the dopamine detox, right? I feel like this like, I don't know how to explain it, just like unease. People are driving past and I'm like, oh shit, who's that? Like, who's that? Like people are walking past and I'm like, they're looking at me funny. Like my brain's just like kind of overreactive, which I think is probably just part of the withdrawal from the medication. But the thing that I think is not, and it's actually just been hidden from being stimulated all the time, like watching YouTube, listening to podcasts, scrolling, hanging out, just even being with people, right? I'm always stimulated, and like for the whole afternoon, I've pretty much just been sat there, like literally just sat outside on the front deck, like doing nothing, literally just sitting there doing nothing and just thinking, right? And I keep getting thoughts of my past when I wasn't at my best and I was at my worst, specifically last year. And I don't know how to explain it. I'm getting this like nostalgic feeling, like, I don't know, like what's that word called? Deja vu. I'm getting deja vu. I don't know how to explain it, and it's just like fucked up. I feel not good thinking about the past and all the bad things I did and the life I used to live. And I just feel like I've been escaping the feelings of having to deal and knowing that I did all those things. Like hurting my family and just the shit life I lived. I was just thinking that I used to walk down to the park every day while my family was at home, my little sister. And I would go down to the park and roll up a joint. I'd light a joint. I had no money at the time. Like, I had no money. So I was just, like, ticking up weed. Because I had no money. And I was stressed. Because I had no money, which meant I had to tick weed up. And I couldn't, this was a specific time. This was about December, November of last year. And I, had to, like, just think, like, kind of save my weed. And during those times, I would think back on the past times where I was smoking all day, every day, and I could just smoke as much as I want, and how much I loved it. And I just kept thinking about that feeling and that I wanted it back. Sorry, hold on. There we go. Shit. So yeah, I was just thinking back to, those times where I was just smoking weed. I could smoke as much as I want, and I miss them. I miss those times, and now I'm looking back on those times and I don't miss them, but fuck, I wasn't in a good space. And I just feel like so ashamed, even though everybody already knows. It's in the past, it's already happened. I just feel a huge sense of shame. Why? I just feel so shameful about it. And I just shouldn't have done it. And I just feel like I don't know, this sense of dread. I don't know. I just feel this huge sense of dread that nothing's gonna be good again. I don't know. There's heaps of kind of things. You know? I just feel this unease, everything's not gonna be alright. How am I going to enjoy life again, fully? I'm looking back to December, late December, early January, February of this year, the summertime, and I'm looking back and I just miss those times. I miss those times, and then I feel this sense of shame from the things of last year. And I'm getting those feelings and thoughts of unease about the future. Am I at times ever gonna be that good again? You know? What about it? I'm trying to think what specifically about last summer was so amazing. I don't know, I keep thinking about it. Even when I am stimulated, I keep thinking about it, but now that I'm not, it comes up even more, about I don't know, I'd somehow was able to change my identity, change my mindset so quickly. I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I did it. But that was the thing, I just changed, very dramatically, I just didn't give a fuck. I just didn't give a fuck what anyone thought. If someone was like, oh, you're changing, what, you're not smoking weed anymore, you're not a wannabe rapper, I just didn't give a fuck. Cause I was like, bro, this is the right thing. My family are gonna respect me. My family are gonna love me. My family are gonna be so grateful. That was a big driving force of why I changed. My family were upset with me, bro. Even when I was in my darkest, I didn't want to change, but I had thoughts imagine, because I was so depressed. I hated myself. I hated my life, and I was having thoughts. Imagine if I just did what my family wanted me to do. Would it make this depression? Would it make would it make these horrible thoughts and feelings about myself go away if I just did what my family wanted me to do? I didn't know. I didn't know at the time, so, you know, and I kind of just found out I just got to my lowest point and I was like, bro, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do what my family don't want me to do. I want to become better. I want to become the most best version, the most amazing version of myself. I had this fire lit inside of me, lit inside my heart of just like this ambition, this drive of just becoming the best version of myself. And I want that back. You know what I mean? Like, I really want that back, and I'm trying to figure out. I do want it, but I'm just overthinking. I'm scared. I'm anxious all the time. I'm trying to, like, how do I change my self image? How do I change my self image? Because you can't move past your self image, right? I already know this. You can't move past your self image. So it's like, what do I do? What the fuck do I do? How? How do I become the version of myself I want to become? A big part of it is like the social thing. How do I become who I want to be with other people? Like, in terms, like, in social situations, how do I become? Like, how do I do that, you know? And I don't know, I just feel stuck. I feel stuck. And I'm looking back to, the summer of the last summer. How the fuck was I like that? You know? Like, I don't even know if I could, like, go back to that place because I might have already moved past it. It's just so confusing. Like, what about it? It was the weather. I've definitely noticed, like, that it's now that it's been sunny outside for a couple days, and I've noticed that fucking dogs barking next door. I've noticed that my mood seems to be a bit better that it's sunny. It makes me feel like, oh, it's gonna be like summer, right? Fucking hell, shut the fuck up, bro. It's fucking dogs, bro. Oh my gosh. Fuck, they're annoying, bro. I'm trying to fucking speak and it's distracting me. So anyway, what was I saying? I keep getting those thoughts like of back to last summer because it's been sunny like the past couple days, and it's like, fuck, like, how do I get back there? How do I get back to those days? How I felt those days. And it's like, shit, because like a big part of last summer was I just cut off the bad habits. I was eating exceptionally well. Right, I was still having, like, if we went out, I'd eat, but I was eating like very like healthy, right? I wasn't scrolling. I deleted social media, right, which was a big part of it. Like, currently, like recently, I have social media because obviously I fucking upload on YouTube, I upload on TikTok, all that shit. But the thing is every time I go to upload, every time I like check my how many likes, how many views I've got or whatever, I end up scrolling. Even if it's for like one video, two videos, I end up fucking scrolling, and it's fucking with my head. Like, it's like, even like one video can end up fucking with your head, can end up fucking with you, and I was just thinking, holy, like, I don't know. Like, I'm happy that I'm going on to this dopamine detox, but then I'm also getting the sense of unease and anxiety, and maybe it's the start of the detox. Maybe it's, coming off this medication. So, I don't know. I'm trying to, like, I don't really need to decide or figure out right now, do I? You know, and another thing I've been thinking about, like, you hear the advice of it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? Which is somewhat true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But like, it's all about making progress, right? So it's not about, if you have a goal, it's not about once you're at that goal, you're satisfied, you're happy. Once you've achieved it, you're not, right? Because human beings get like, what's it called? Fuck, see, I can't think. Human beings get like bored too easily, if you know what I mean. Like they, not complacent, but like they, bro, see, I can't even think. Like they get used to things, you know what I mean? They get used to things. Like, yeah. And so it's about progress, not actually achieving the goal, right? There's bodybuilders who fucking jacked. They're jacked as fuck. They're huge, right? But they're not happy. They're not fulfilled. They're not satisfied because they haven't made progress recently or currently. They're not making progress. So it's all about making progress, right? So, there's areas of my life that I feel like I'm not making progress in, specifically the social area, and I'm thinking, oh, I need to look a certain way, I need to feel a certain way first, I need to do something, whatever, I need to have this before I do this. And it's just fucking with me, like I need to feel a certain way, I need to look a certain way to be able to be social, but it's like, I don't know, it's just fuck, man. I just wish I could live how I truly wanted to live. Like, there's nothing truly holding me back except fear. Like, seriously, there's nothing holding me back except fear. It's all fear. And maybe doing this detox will reveal things to myself, which I'm excited for. And I've just got to stay positive, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to stay in a positive, well, I'm gonna try stay in a positive growth mindset, just reminding myself good things about myself, that I'm doing good things, that I'm gonna do good things, but I've also got to be honest with how I truly feel, you know what I mean? Can't be fucking delusional, like, I've got to be honest, but, just telling myself I've made so much fucking progress, because I fucking have, I'm not gonna lie and downplay what I've done. I've done a lot. I've done a fucking significant amount, and I am truly proud of myself for that. And I'm going to make progress, right? I know I'm going to make progress, and specifically with people, and being and acting the way I truly want to act. But the thing that's holding me back is fear, right? So I've got to conquer that fear, and that's part of being a man, is being courageous and doing things you don't feel like doing. It's the whole thing of discipline. It's the whole thing of being a man, is doing things you don't feel like doing. And that's like with courageousness, with, courage, is doing things, doing things you fear. And all fear is a feeling, like truly nothing holding me back but fear. I'm just kind of realizing this the more I talk. But yeah, so yeah, this is kind of what day one. I might be doing maybe one of these videos every day. I'll see how I go. I don't know, but I'll just see how I go, and probably gonna go journal. So yeah, if you enjoy watching, bro, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, bro. Goodbye.